Hey everybody, Joe with Bumbling Acres. We're calling this homesteading, fear, and failure. Yeah, I think that's what I call it. We'll see. By the time I usually get done making the video, then I usually am just tired and I don't really name it very creatively at the end. So what I call it now and what it ends up being may be horribly different. But Joe with Bumbling Acres, and in my corporate job, I figure I'll tell a little bit about myself. In my corporate job, I work in the insurance business. I don't want to get into too many specifics because that's not what this channel isn't about me. It's about homesteading, but it's significant to the story. Normally I'd be working right now, and my company has not gone on quarantine or closing or anything. We're still working normal hours. And I decided today to take some time and take the personal time that I have. I'll take some time off and come home. And I wanted to kind of discuss that with you all and why did I take time off to come home? And part of it's fear, but the reality is it's not fear of the virus. It's not fear of the mighty corona. Though I do not want to take it lackadaisical. My opinions and understandings of it have grown since its first emergence. It is more severe than just a flu. Let's quit with that. And it does have some ramifications upon our society, both individually and collectively, that are important, that we do take it seriously. Now, as a homesteader, how do we take corona seriously? And that's been on my mind. Now, I am grateful in my corporate job. I still have food that we've produced on the homestead. We aren't a fully up and running 100% farm, but we do have meat from the birds that we butchered last year, still plenty of meat for us. Plenty of vegetables, plenty of things, and we're in the process of getting the garden set up, so we'll be planting soon. And I came home for a very specific reason, and I think it's important that we look at that as homesteaders and as people in general. Because I work in the insurance business, a lot of the insurance companies have all gone on quarantine themselves. So it's very, very tough. I work with a lot of attorneys and things of that nature. And it's very, very difficult for me at work to get anything done, to be functional at work, to do my job and actually have it be productive. And that has been wearing on me as a man, as a husband, as a father, the last couple of days. Going into work and feel like I'm just spinning my wheels for 8 hours. Just, not really accomplishing anything. And I began to look around and think, well, I need to get my garden fence up so we can get serious planting that'll protect them from our chickens. I really need to do that. And that is something that is a purpose. That actually will make me feel vital and important. Sitting at my work in a cubicle is not doing that. And I thought that was important as we talk about, why do we homestead? And one of the things is it's a foundational anchor. We manage the earth we are blessed with, whether it be a quarter acre, an acre, 1,500 acres. We have just over 4 acres. And we get the blessing of working in that and toiling with our hands and really seeing what we do. And that has a lot of struggles with homesteading. One of the things you'll cope with, that I've said it before, is failure as a homesteader, because you are inevitably going to try things you've never done before, and you're going to find out you suck at it the first time you do it, and probably the second or third or fourth, or it takes a while to gain proficiency in something. And especially if you're homesteading as an adult, we adults don't like failure. We avoid it. We figured out what we're good at through our adolescence to our young 20s, and we spend the rest of our time leveraging the things we're good at. And homesteading, really, unless you have a foundation in homesteading, you are going to have to come face to face with failure. And there's a reoccurring theme in my videos is failure and how important it is and how tough it is, but how it changes the way you feel about yourself, and the fact of that failure that's followed by regrowth, that's followed by purpose. And I always think of it as each task has the seasons, the spring through fall through winter, and winter is a failure season. It's a rest season, but it's where you've done something and there's nothing happening. That's how I look at it. Like when I do a task and I suck at it and it blows apart in my face, I take a step back, I regenerate, and I go back at it again. And it's one reason why on my last video I talked about version 1 through 2 through 3 through 4. I take things in smaller steps so that I can figure out how to do something right, small scale, and work my way into the big ones. And I was thinking about the effect of that today. Gage is off, our 17-year-old, with Deborah. She's doing some things. And he's not here to help me. He'll be helping me tomorrow close up the garden, which I plan on getting completely done tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But there's a number of little tasks I needed to do on my property. As you all know, if you've kept up the video, we've recently got turkeys and I had to build a turkey enclosure. And the quick haphazard way of doing it, I just threw fencing around. And I need doors. I need entrances that I can easily open and close, and my pregnant wife, can easily open and close. So that has brought us to where we had some extra posts, we buried them. It's not working out real well with those. I didn't really want to use cement because I didn't want to make anything real permanent, but lo and behold, if I want to do it, I'm going to have to do it with cement. So today I got out and got some cement and poured it in the hole. It's not a difficult thing to put posts and cement them in the ground, but it's not something I do very often. I have done it before at our old house. We had a rental property, and I put in just a garden fence in the back of it so that we could easily get in and out and get the truck in and move things around. But that was my first real experience putting posts down, and that leads us to today's journey, which, just putting in a couple posts behind me. You'll see the wood posts 1, 2, and 3 that are being used. Those are being anchored right now in cement. I'm letting the cement set up. It'll probably be a little bit longer. I didn't use Quikrete. But when those are set up, I'll be able to actually put my doors in, and that'll finish that task. And that's a small step, but it's a build on what I've already done. I'm also doing the same thing over in our meat bird enclosure. I had to put some cement down for this post because I'm actually going to hang a farm gate on it, and that'll be for our meat birds. Those are all tasks that build on all the tasks that have come before. I was talking to some of my coworkers, and one of the things I've been looking at doing is a solar powered still. And solar generates the heat, and how do I create that? How do I make that work? Doing a lot of studying online, pretty good understanding of the principles of what I'm going to be doing. Honestly, it's not going to be a task I'm going to tackle till probably later this summer. But at some point, I'm going to set up a solar powered still, that'll purify our rainwater so that we can use it as drinking water and use it around. So that's a huge step, but that's a lot of little steps along the way, and that's how you have to do things as a homesteader. But fear as a homesteader, this goes to the second spot at 7.5 minutes. Damn, sorry y'all. We're gonna wind up, society's freaking out, and honestly, the thing that has me concerned isn't the virus. I wasn't really too worried until I started seeing people losing their mind, and they don't have an understanding of what they need, and they're going out and buying 437 pounds of toilet paper, for Pete's sake. I mean, my 17-year-old uses toilet paper like it's freaking crazy. I asked him if he was eating it at one point, but even then, we don't need that much. And I just very unsettling feeling to be on my property and know that my property isn't ready to sustain us. It's in good shape, but it's not in that good a shape. And then to also be concerned with, as if society continues to drop, which I don't foresee it happening. I see this making a turn the next month and a half. But if not, that's a scary thing. And when I get scared, I want to embrace purpose. I want to embrace action. And that's what brought me home. And I'll be home for the next couple of days. Just working on projects that I can do and finishing up homestead things that bring value to my life and my family's life. That's why we get into homesteading. And I think that's an important step. So, tasks, to be task-oriented as a homesteader, find your purpose. And when you face fear, whether it be fear of failure or external fear, go back to that purpose. It anchors you. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Hope y'all are doing well. Joe with Bumblenaker signing off. Bye.